Hi, my name is Velvetina, and I'm a PhD student at the UCL School of Management in the UK. I've always been very interested in the concept of open science, where we can conduct reliable research that's upheld to the highest standards of transparency and rigor. And my current experience in working with Gilad on a registered report meta-analysis has been very enlightening, and it provided me with a very realistic perspective on what it actually means to be open. So the idea of open science has been always very grand and inspirational to me, but in reality, it really required me to think in a very focused manner and to actually kind of retrain myself to consider the entire research process. And fortunately, for me, as someone who's at an early stage in my research career, I think this actually makes it easier for me to adapt to a new way of thinking. And I just wanted to point out, as an example, in a standard meta analysis, when you're actually planning on what you want to do at the start, you you may not necessarily anticipate issues that you might encounter at each stage of the analytic process, such as identifying papers with inconsistent results, or even thinking about how the final data set needs to be structured for an accurate and efficient analysis. And fortunately, as someone who is very new to meta-analysis, being able to do it in a registered report format enabled me to get feedback earlier as from reviewers in order to consider how I can anticipate and also plan for these issues that I may encounter. And it also actually enables me to save time and really be able to conduct research in a much better quality. And what really stood out for me actually was this need to, and it was how this need to be transparent really translated into a really detailed thinking for all aspects of your research. And this has influenced in other parts of my study. In experiments I've run in the past year, I've aimed to pre-register them, and even in writing out the experimental design and the process of collection and analysis, I myself have identified issues and flaws in my methodology that I was able to correct for before I ran the experiments. And in return, this saves me so much time and resources that would have otherwise been wasted in conducting a bad experiment. And my gut is that though open science will force us to take more time and effort to conduct research, it's really worth it, because the quality of research that we do should improve, and it can also enable us to really take the time to address the theory method gap, which a lot of early career researchers like me may struggle because we don't have the experience to think about whether the experiments and studies that we run really addresses the theory that we are testing and trying to build. So all I can say is long live open science.